Hey everybody, welcome back. We got another new segment. It's called What's Cooking? And back by popular demand is Bruce.
Hello.
We had such a good response from the last video. They said they wanted to see more of us together, so we're here more together. And what we want to do is we want to have some fun just making a meal, right? We're not cutting, we're going to just show you how we actually make a meal. And Bruce is going to make a beverage. We're going to take questions. We're going to do a whole bunch of stuff. So it's going to be fun. Please subscribe and ring the bell so you'll get a notification of all of our new videos. All right, Bruce, so
what are we making tonight?
we are gonna make, it's Friday, right? So I don't know about you, but I've been tired. I don't feel like cooking. I feel guilty because I already gave my kids pizza once this week, right?
You gotta do it.
And so I want some veggies. I got some veggies that are getting a little marginal. You know, I've been in the, I thought I was gonna cook something with these last week, so they're getting a little kind of eh. So I want to use them. So I'm gonna make a sheet pan dinner, right? Because it's easy, and we'll mix everything together and we put it in the oven. So what I'm going to do, what I've got is I got some assorted veggies, and you can do whatever you want. But we've got some yellow squash, some zucchini, some asparagus. We got some grape tomatoes, which are really nice, and an onion. And then I'm going to put some chicken sausage in it. We're going to pop it in the oven for 20 minutes. And
What temperature?
400 degrees for about 20 minutes. It's going to be great. All right. So let me just first, what we want to do is we want to cut the vegetables all somewhat similar, right? So the asparagus are going to cook a little bit more, but when you're cutting the squash, we don't want like one big huge piece like this, right? And then, then pieces like this, because then you're gonna, they're not gonna cook right. They're gonna,
Sure.
Some will be done and some won't be any good. So we're gonna go ahead and we are going to cut these into about 1/4-inch pieces. And the nice part about this is all going on the tray. It's there's no bowls, there's no extra pans. You're just cutting your stuff up.
I gotta say that looks more like a 1/2 inch to me, but
All right. Well, you know what? You're probably
I
right.
don't want to trick anybody out there.
You are an engineer.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
Yeah, that's what.
That's right. So we could measure.
Well, we don't want watchers crying
That's right.
over the cutting board.
Yeah, because when I say 1/4 inch and I cut a 1/2 inch, I do get some flack for those very visual people. I appreciate it, but you got to cut me some slack. All right. So that was a big yellow squash. And if you got vegetables like this, and there's a couple spots that are not, that marginal, we're going to cook them anyway, so it doesn't matter. So I'm going to just take those off instead of just throwing it away. Right?
Okay. So it's sort of like going to the dermatologist. You just take a few.
That's right.
Yeah.
You just take out the brown spots.
Yeah. Okay. Very good.
All right. So
So how do you make cutting look so easy, Cliff?
you practice, you practice, you practice. So for those of you who are just learning to cut, or you need a little more skill, right? You got a claw right here. So you want to keep the knife against your fingers, or you don't want to extend your fingers, because that's how you lose them. That's how you cut them. You get lazy. You got the claw, right? You got the holder hand. You got the helper hand. This is the holder hand. Holder hand. Quick Kitchen Dad's cutting lesson, by the way. So you're going to take your hand right here, and you're going to put the knife just in the palm, right? You don't want to put your finger out. When you put your finger out, it activates different muscles in your arm and in your wrist, and actually restricts the distance and way you flow. You're going to hold it like this, a little V coming right up here, and you have complete control, right? And then
You have the claw.
you have the claw, and you can just do it. What's that restaurant? What's the one where they do the thing? The Japanese restaurant. All right, Benihana. Benihana.
We're trying to get pay for a plug, but
That's all right. All right, so now we're gonna do some asparagus. If you get the big fat asparagus, you might have to trim the bottom a little bit, right? More so with these. I'm gonna cut the bottom pieces off. Some people say, hey, you can save them for stock or soup like that. Nah.
it's just asparagus.
It's asparagus. And you know what? You put it in the garden, turns to, not recycle, what's the word?
Oh, compost.
Compost. Love that. I've been meaning to compost for like 6 or 8 years. I just got too much going. I do have some friends that compost, and I secretly take my stuff and put it in their garden. So I feel like it makes me feel good, and it makes them feel good because their compost is so great, and they don't know why.
Now, I've eaten raw zucchini and yellow squash before, but can you eat this raw?
Of course. Spring asparagus is very tender, and there's some dishes where you can get some of the big fat asparagus and slice it really thin with some oil on it, and you can eat it just that way. You can eat it that way. And it doesn't matter if you eat it raw or you eat it cooked, your pea is going to smell.
Really?
Yeah. So if you have asparagus, make sure everybody has a bite so it's all equal.
This is good.
Because they won't go, oh man, I know Bruce was just in the bathroom.
If I had a nickel for it, never mind. But,
all right.
this is good, I gotta say.
Yeah.
If you've never tried raw asparagus.
All right, we're gonna do the onion. And this type of thing is, again, onions are thinner. They got a lot of water in them. This is not a fancy dish. This is just taking some veggies. We're gonna roast them. Or bake them, really. We're going to bake them a little bit. And then, because at the end of the week, I want to eat good food, but I want to hang out. I don't know about you guys. I want to hang out. Sometimes I order pizza. Sometimes I order Mexican. But I always feel better if I make some food. And you can save money. I mean, yeah. I mean, you think about this. We probably got about $4 in vegetables and maybe like $2, $3 in chicken sausage. And, it's going to serve a bunch of people versus going out and spend 30, 40, 50 bucks.
Not to mention when you have the beverages at home too.
Yeah. That's why we're doing this segment on beverages, because for those of you who beverage, you know what it's like. All right, tomatoes. I like adding tomatoes. They add a lot of color.
Cut them in half.
Oh yeah, these are kind of big, so I cut them in half. Try to cut them in half, all similar consistency, right?
Well, if they were small, would you just cook them whole?
Yeah, if they were small, dinky, like about that size,
Yeah, right.
I would just probably cook them whole.
Okay.
Right. They're gonna bust open a little bit anyway if they're like that. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I was wondering open versus closed, but.
Yep. All right. Now, I do have to tell you right now that somebody's gonna say you're crowding your vegetables. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Okay, but this is a smaller size sheet pan, and I got a few extra vegetables. You don't want to try to crowd your vegetables, on top of each other. We're going to try to make them as flat as possible.
They're going to shrink up.
They're going to shrink up, yeah. Yes. Only when it's cold, though. All right.
When they get out of the pool.
Only when they get out of the pool. Vegetables. Woo, everybody out. All right. So now, this is so easy. Oh, wait, we got some sausage.
Yeah, we do.
Can you name that? Can you name the type of brand of what you think this is?
Sausage.
Okay. So it's a chicken sausage with spinach, right?
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. You want because we're going to roast these a lot. I want to cut these things in little big, probably like this size bites.
About an inch.
Yeah, because they're already kind of pre-cooked.
Inch and a half.
Inch and a half.
Ish.
Right.
These are pre-cooked.
Yeah, a lot of chicken sausages are pre-cooked, because if you didn't, you'd have raw chicken sausage, and it'd be all floppy and everything.
I see.
Right.
Okay, so that's how they get the texture.
Right. All right. So we're going to put some sausages on there. So the first thing we're going to do is super simple. We're going to take and we're going to hit this with some olive oil. And how much? Enough to coat it. This is like just making up a recipe. Balsamic vinegar, it's great. It adds a lot of flavor. It's a little punch from the vinegar. It goes great on vegetables. You don't need as much with. It's just. Remind me to tell you something about balsamic vinegar.
I never knew that you could actually put balsamic vinegar in the oven. I don't know why. I thought it might blow up or something.
Super kind of vinegar.
Because it's so strong.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
But it milds out. We're going to do some salt. All right. We're going to do some garlic powder. Now, something like this, you can chop up garlic, but it's going to roast for a long time. And I like a better coating. So I'm going to go ahead and use some garlic powder.
Okay.
Right? Because I think it gets a better coating. And then we're going to use some pepper. Right? We're going to use some black pepper. This one's taking too long. Got to bring out the big dog.
We're sinking.
We need the big dog.
Pepper power.
I remember they used to do this at fancy restaurants if you had a Caesar salad.
I know.
It's like, would you like some pepper? That, what I also think is, when the kids were acting up, they come over and they just go, and then that way the restaurant will be quiet. I don't recommend doing that.
Here we go, folks.
All right. It is Kitchen Dads. You got to be able to take a joke. Now, you could use tongs, but this is the way you do it. You just use your fingers, right? You're cooking. Right? So what you're doing is you're going to just go ahead and you're going to coat everything so it has some of the salt and some of it has the garlic powder and some of the oil, which is you're going to want to get it browned. Okay?
Smells great.
Yeah,
already.
it does. It's great. Now, if you had a bigger pan, you could do a couple things. You could push the vegetables to the side, or you could leave it the row for the sausages. I'm going to just put the sausages along here.
Intermingled.
Everybody gets a good view. Nobody has a bad seat. It's important.
No bad seat in that house.
No bad seat in that house. All right. So at this point, we're at 400. I'm going to pop this in the oven, and then we're going to move to. Oh, wait, I almost forgot. You could eat it just the way it is right now, right?
It's crazy.
Okay, but we want to kick it up another notch. You take in some of your favorite seasonings. You just add some favorite seasoning, right? So we got Italian seasoning. You can put Italian seasoning on this. We got some Cajun blackened fish seasoning, blackened seasoning, which is some regular Cajun seasoning, and we got a citrusy garlic blend. So we're going to let you choose.
Can we do a few different things in different sections?
We could maybe go half and half.
Half and half.
All right.
Okay, I am going all in with, you ready for this? Blackened.
Blackened, okay. So
We'll do half.
We'll do half.
I'm not really all in.
All right.
And
So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna coat this a little bit just so the bottoms get coated, right, on this half. We just have to remember what half has the Cajun. Well, I guess when you bite it, it would tell you
well,
what.
That's
That was a blackened Cajun. So let's go something besides just
yeah,
Cajun.
let's not go with Cajun. Let's either go Italian or citrusy.
Let's go with
garlic.
Italian. Let's go with Italian.
Yeah.
All right. Since I'm Italian, we'll go with Italian. I didn't know that if Italians use this, wouldn't it just be called seasoning? All right. All right. So now we got our two different seasonings. We kicked up the notch. You're done with prep. We're going to take this, put this in the oven. We're going to set it for 20 minutes. Wow. I'm going to move out of the way, and now we're going to get to one of the good parts, Bruce's Beverage.
All right, welcome to Bruce's Beverage. Cliff, I'm thinking tonight we're going to make a very special cocktail that I'm actually addicted to now. It's called the Jalapeño Pineapple Mosow Mule.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
All right.
So let's see. I'm going to need a couple of glasses,
All right.
and some ice.
Get some glasses for you.
Of course, we're going to use plenty of vodka.
Ice. All right, I'm gonna get you over there.
Vodka is like garlic; you can't have enough, right?
That's it. No, and this is no special brand. This is just
No,
vodka.
just whatever.
Yeah,
Any vodka is fine because it's vodka.
it's vodka.
I brought some pineapple juice. I just dumped in a used jar here.
How do you juice a pineapple, by the way?
I popped the top,
Oh,
and, and it's really amazing because pineapple juice just comes pouring right out.
all right.
Ginger beer. Very, very important. Ginger beer. And this is a piece. Sorry, I don't have a whole one, but I think everybody's going to get the deal. It's a piece of a fresh jalapeno.
All right.
And you can, some people put these in a dehydrator for this cocktail. You can do whatever you want, really. I would not use a what do you call it, pickle for this, but I just well, it's fine. And so you just want to cut some thin slices.
You got any more in here, or are we good in here?
Well, I got a couple
all right.
of other things in
All right.
there. A couple of, nice thin slices, because the thinner it is, you can sort of smash it up against the glass. I'll show you that in just a second.
Let me get you a plate we can put on the side.
And don't rub your eyes after you do this, folks, okay? Just remember that. And
Learned that the hard way?
I've learned a lot of things the hard way, but here's some slices. I don't know if you want to get rid of the seeds or not. I've never had one really bother me in one of these drinks.
I think, unless they kind of don't float. They don't have too many seeds. I think if you have too many seeds, I've sent a drink back before one time when it was just like all these seeds floating.
Yeah.
But with just a little bit, I think it's okay.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. First thing you do, I brought my own glass because there's only one way to have a good cocktail. And so I'll tell you what, I'll make one in here and you make two in here.
Okay, all right.
Just follow me.
So then when they say you can only have one tonight, that's what you bring out?
I only have one drink a night.
Okay, I think we get rid of this. Let's get rid of this.
So what I would say is take one or two of these.
Okay. So since
One or two slices.
are you just making more? So would you have more because you're getting a bigger one, or?
Well, I'm not going to go crazy.
All right. So I'm gonna put 2 slices of jalapeno in. All right.
And I need it's just anything to sort of mash this up a little bit if you can.
Oh, you know what? Here,
Even a spoon would be
a spoon.
yeah. Perfecto. So what you want to do here, I don't know if you can see this in TV land, but you just sort of smash that down a little bit. It's almost like muddling fruit, right?
So basically, you're just breaking the walls of the jalapeno
Exactly.
to release some of the juices. All right.
See what I'm saying right there? Okay. Now, let's go ahead and throw some icing in our glasses.
Okay.
Of course,
I'm gonna use the big cubes.
here with Kitchen Dads, we only use the finest ice cubes. Okay. Vodka?
We usually run out of ice because, just like potato chips, when you have one of these, you probably just can't have just one.
We'd like to do a 1, 2, 3, 4 pour. Right?
No. If you're counting in metric, does you get more or do you get less?
Well, you know what?
Okay.
Oops, too much. There's that. Now, the ginger beer. And I got to say, this is a very good ginger beer.
Goslings, I gave to you guys. Look, this is we're not asking for any, and we're just saying we've had all the different ones.
Yeah.
And Goslings is really one of the great
the
ginger beers. So.
Okay, so and of course everything I do is sort of just as you cook.
Right.
You just experiment.
And if you're new, you might want to measure, but when you get to become more of a professional, like Bruce, you don't need to.
Thank you very much. I basically put just a little more ginger beer than vodka in this.
So kind of like 1-to-1 with a little extra
Yeah,
topper.
maybe 1 part vodka, 1.5 parts
ginger beer. Okay.
And then maybe back to 1 part pineapple. Something like that.
When you drink this, do you sit in the chair where you're going to sleep?
Well, if it's filled to the brim,
All right.
yes,
Okay.
I do. Now, and of course, I do like to you can make this in a shaker if you feel like it, but, why take that extra step? It's going to be good. So you just stir it up nice and, try to get that jalapeno flavoring throughout.
So I guess that's for you, and these are 2 for me, right?
Exactly.
That's good. I may look dumb, but I've been around once in a while.
This is in case someone shows
This
up
one
at
is
the door.
This one's for you.
Oh wow.
All right, so let's taste them. And
Let's check
I've never had. By the way, I've never had this before. It's a new drink for me because Bruce is always experimenting. Like food for me, Bruce is always experimenting with his beverages. All right.
Right.
So let's see. Oh wow, That's really good.
Is it crazy?
That's really good.
Yeah. I told you
I had to have a second sip.
I am addicted to these things. I think about
So let's break this down, all right? So the first thing you get a little bit of sweetness from the pineapple.
Right.
But it's only just like a brief second. Then the ginger hits, and then the jalapeno kind of finishes it off, right?
And then as you exhale, you get the vodka.
Yeah, yeah. But it's like a jalapeno crescendo. See, I was working in music here, you know. It's like up, but when it's hot out and you're sitting on the porch or you're at the park and or anywhere, these would be really nice.
Yeah.
Because it's really refreshing. And you know, I'm not a big spice guy. I like a little bit of spice, but even almost, you know, sometimes that's just too much.
Right.
The jalapeno, because it's so thin, it doesn't really overpower. So I think if you didn't like jalapeno, you would still like this.
Yeah. And of course it's competing with ginger.
That's right.
So
that's right.
You know, you're not gonna say, oh, jalapeno. No, it's just a little accent, right?
All right. So now, did you create this? Did you see this in a? Did you have it somewhere?
You know, it's just different people have sent me different things, especially people that know me, and this is one of the things somebody said, check this out, and now I'm checking it out a lot.
Yeah. You know.
Oh, by the way, I noticed there's some people from the Kitchen Dads website that had some questions.
Bring them on. Let me check how we're doing here. We got 8 minutes on the thing, so let's do some questions.
Okay, let's see. Oh gosh.
This is why we're on YouTube and not on like regular TV because we can have beverages and talk at the same time.
Okay, well, Bobby is asking, can you use different peppers in this drink instead of a jalapeno?
Well, I would think, you know, that you go with a Serrano, you're going to shoot it up a notch, right? So it's a different type of heat. So I would think that you want to.
I'd stay with this tried and true recipe because Cliff likes it.
That's why we're here. That we're here to experiment for you.
Right.
To give you what the baseline is, and then you take that.
Exactly.
And then you experiment and make it the way you want. Just like a regular food recipe, any beverage recipe, you know, find what you like. You know, make it the way you want to make it.
Here's one. Here's one from Lucy. It says, "How do I know if cheese has gone bad?" And that's funny because.
Well, can I take that one?
Yeah, take it.
Okay. So really depends on the cheese. There's some cheeses, some hard cheeses that might get that you might get a little molding on the outside, but you have to just cut it off because it doesn't go into the cheese. If you have a softer cheese and there's a whole bunch of mold, it depends on how badly you want that cheese. Because you could cut that mold off and there might be a little section of cheese in the middle. I say this from experience because I was like, I wanted cheese and crackers and there was just this really ugly piece of cheese, but I wanted cheese and crackers and it was late, and so I just cut off the mold and I ate it. I'm not endorsing that, just so everybody gets sick, right? Okay, but it really depends. Some people one time threw away blue cheese because they thought it went bad.
Well, how do you know if blue cheese goes bad? And can it go bad?
You know, if
it turns
mold.
If it turns yellow.
I mean, you know, my thing is if it's slimy. Right, because I've kept blue cheese in the refrigerator before, long time. It also depends whether it's a block or if it's the blue cheese crumbles that you have, right? So I've had blue cheese crumbles got stuck in the refrigerator one time. You know how it is? It goes into the drawer of nothingness, where it gets shoved to the back, and it's like it's like a time warp thing where it goes away and then comes back 3 months later.
Yeah, with the packets of taco sauce.
That's right. So I popped that open, and before where there was the blue part and then the white part, there was no white part.
Oh, wow.
It was just all blue or whatever color it was. So at that point, I'm like, I'm not going to risk it. I'm just going to go ahead and throw it away. But general rule is soft cheeses, if there's mold, it's up to you. Cut the bad parts off. Hard cheeses, you can cut it off and perfectly be okay.
Wow.
All right.
Okay, I have one more.
All right. We got.
What do we have?
Oh, we got plenty of time.
We have time?
We have time.
This one's from John, and he says, what does it take to be a good cook?
All right, John. So first, depends on your definition of what a good cook is. Some people, it's you don't burn things, right? That people had parents that food was horrific. Really, what it takes desire, which it sounds like you have desire, and then it takes some basic skills. That's why I started Kitchen Dads. I started Kitchen Dads to help to get more people in the kitchen. You got to learn how to hold a knife. You got to learn how to make certain cuts, just so you can function better. And then you need to pick a recipe, right? So if you're not experienced, find a recipe that you like, something that's simple, something like this, right? It doesn't have to be hard, but make it once or twice or 3 times, and then kind of experiment with it, get it the way you want, and then move on to something else. Don't be afraid of failure. That's probably one of the best things about not just being a good cook, but life, right?
Experiment.
So we experiment all the time. Even today, I'll make dishes and I'll try things I've made over and over again, and it just something, universe wasn't right that day, and it's horrible. So I'm always about experiment, try things, because if you screw up, pizza's only 30 minutes away. So
That's true.
That's right. I heard the dinger. I think our sausage stuff is done.
Let's move this out of the way.
All right.
There.
Ooh.
Man.
Now, come on. You tell me that doesn't look good?
That is wild.
So you got a little bit of the char. You can see some of the char from the onions. The tomatoes have kind of let lose some of their juices, and things are tasting, are good. You get a little char in some of the asparagus. The sausage is still big enough that it's not going to be dried out.
Right.
Right? You've got the 1/4 to 1/2 inch sized zucchini and yellow squash, right? And it's charred. Here's a little extra tip. If you like more char, when this is done, stick on the broiler for a minute and it'll blacken up the top a little bit. All right? So let's get a plate.
Is there a certain presentation you do for this? I mean, you could almost just serve it right on that.
Oh yeah, you could take this, put it at the table. If you got a group, this is a Friday. This is not like fancy food. This is just food that we're gonna have. So realistically, we got a spoon here. We're gonna just go ahead and we're gonna just. Oh, that's a big enough spoon. For all the work, I don't know. I think you're right. It might be just better to.
It seems like it.
Yeah. Well, you know what? This will be easy to carry around, so.
That's true.
And it won't be as hot.
Oh, wait a minute. You know what we forgot to do, Cliff?
What did we forget?
Compare one side to the other.
Oh. This is
That's called experimentation.
Yeah,
It's
you know what it
combined.
is? Yeah, because we just invented a new cuisine.
Right.
Cajun Italian. See, folks, this is what's fun about cooking. You know what the thing's going to happen? People are going to go, oh, I love that. What is that spice? And you're going to have to say, well,
you got to mix it up.
Got to mix it up. All right. So,
Smelling right.
forks. Get some forks. It looks pretty hot. It's a beautiful thing. We could probably have a bite of the. I'm going to go for some zucchini first.
Okay, that makes sense. Wow.
Zucchini is perfect. It's a little crunchy still, but it's cooked on the outside. Has a nice flavor. Do some squash. Whoop! There. That's a flying asparagus. Asparagus is tender.
Boy,
How's the sausage?
it's really good. It's juicy, flavorful, right? I guess that's what's cooking.
I forgot. Number one rule of tasting food on camera: take little bites. So anyway, that's it, guys. That's just our first What's Cooking segment with Bruce and Cliff. Oh, you know what? I forgot. This is Kitchen Dads, right?
Of course.
So we got to have a dad's joke.
Oh boy.
All right. How does the farmer count his cattle?
Count his cattle?
Cattle, yeah.
How, Cliff?
With a calculator.
I guess that's what's cooking.
That's what's cooking. All right. So anyway, We're glad you guys were here. Give this a try. You know, it couldn't be any easier. Could this be any easier?
No.
You know what? Give the beverage a try. We look forward to seeing you next time. And as always, keep on cooking.